Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills in order to help you level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be temporarily leaving the world of communication skills to enter the world of productivity. Don't be fooled though, because productivity and communication skills are not in two different universes. They're under the same universe, just two different galaxies. Because great communicators understand that there's different layers to a person. There's the physical and the non-physical. The physical is pretty much all the stuff that you can see. Their skin, their eyes, their hair, even the clothes that they're wearing. The non-physical is the part that you cannot see, which is pretty much their mind. Their mind is broken down into different components. There's the memory, there's the intellect, and then there is the identity. The identity is what we traditionally know as the ego. This ego that different people have. You know what language that it speaks? It speaks narratives. If you can control the correct narratives, then what happens is that now you're using the non-physical to control the physical. Is communication skills and productivity sounding more and more similar now? Using narratives to be more productive? I believe so. Right before I was about to record this video, I saw this tweet on my Twitter where the guy said that he was going to publish 5 books this year. And he wrote a huge thread on how he plans to do this. Simply by talking about how he plans to do this, he, whether he's aware of it or not, leveraged narratives. There's 2 different types of consistency out there. And for the rest of this video, rather than keep saying consistency, I'm going to replace consistency with concentration. They're the same exact things, but I'm using concentration for a reason. So, there's 2 types of concentration. There's micro, and then there's macro. Most people, you go up to them and you ask them if they know how to concentrate, they predominantly think in terms of bursts. Sort of like this YouTube video, where I have a timer for 10 to 12 minutes to maybe 15 minutes, hypothetically, and I'm going to concentrate, do this video. For you, it may be for a school project, something like that. You're sitting down and you're focusing. This is micro. This is productivity. Macro concentration is known as persistence. Without the macro, the micro feels more like work. I want to tell you a story real quick to bring these concepts to life. I would say 5 to 8 years ago, I was driving in a road where there wasn't too many people. And somewhere along the lines, one of my tires got flat. My phone was dead. And it was roughly 2 to 3 a.m. So there was no one in sight. I didn't know what to do. I mean, should I leave my car by itself, walk into the city, and do what? I doubt there's going to be a car mechanic place open this late. So I'm stuck in my car and I'm just waiting and I'm thinking about what I should do. And as I'm waiting, in my rear view mirror, I see this headlights that's pulling up. Now, your boys watched a lot of serial killer movies before, and I know how a lot of these movies go. So I'm getting nervous, thinking, man, is this guy a serial killer or something? The person gets out of what's a tow truck and comes to me and is like, you need some help? I was like, yeah, man, I need some help. My tire, it's flat and I don't have another one. He looks at it and he's like, oh, I have another tire like that in my back. Let me help you out. So he spends the next 20 to 30 minutes helping me out and he fixes up my tire. He does everything that he needs to do. Your boy doesn't know too much about cars either. And once he's done, I go up to him and I'm like, how much is this gonna cost? I'll even give you tips. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. But if you ever have another car issue, here's my business card. I got his business card, I thanked him, and I didn't see him for 3 more weeks. As 3 weeks passed on by, I needed an oil change. So I decided that I'm going to go to his establishment and support him. As soon as I go in, he's greeting a few other customers. He recognizes me. I recognize him. He takes my car to the back and he says a few people will work on it. And that's when we start chatting. I asked the man, yo, you own this? He's like, yeah, I've been working on this company for over 35 years. I was like, wow, you have a lot of people working for you. You must have always been like this, huh? You must have been very successful. And that's when we started to have a heart-to-heart. He's like, far from it. When I was first starting, it was tough for me. I was a father to a newborn. I had a wife, and this business was bleeding money. I was barely making any money for a couple of months to a couple of years. I was struggling. I didn't want to interrupt him, so I'm listening to what he's saying. And he's like, but I continued. I took it one car at a time. I learned how to change the tires. I learned how to efficiently do the oil change, how to fix the paint jobs. I not only learned, I kept getting better, rep by rep, burst by burst. Each rep that I did concentration. He did what we know as micro concentration. And he never lost sight of the bigger picture. He realized that he wanted to bring this company into one of the bigger car companies within the Tampa Bay region. And he knew that he was going to expand it beyond the Tampa Bay region throughout the United States. A great car repairman he was. What he taught me was simply focusing on the day-by-day acts. That's just going to make consistency harder. Instead, what you want to keep doing as you're doing the day-by-day tasks is to start allowing your narrative mind to start dwelling on the bigger picture. And you'll notice that micro and macro often play off of one another. The more that you're stacking up these little micro wins, the more data that you're building for macro level concentration. This guy, as he was failing his business for the first couple of months to the first couple of years, he kept showing up rep by rep, service by service. He was accumulating more data, and that was adding color to his canvas of macro concentration. Once he went through the first couple of months through this consistency, the more that he started to feel that persistence, he started to cultivate the macro concentration even more. And the more that the macro concentration was worked on, the more fuel that he used in order to work on his micro concentration. The two worlds have this nice dance with one another. They fuel one another. So the average Bubba, what they're pretty much doing is just taking it day by day, but they're never zooming out and focusing on the bigger picture. They're too foolish or ignorant to understand that these small little data points of reps that they're putting in is the painting for the bigger picture. But now you know, now you understand the difference between micro and macro, and you also hopefully understand that micro plays a role in macro. Keep winning this narrative mind over. Keep winning the invisible sides to you over, so eventually it becomes much, much easier to control the physical sides to you. Best wishes for 2022. And if you want more practical insights like this into communication skills and productivity, be sure to join my free daily newsletter, which goes out every single day at 7 p.m. and discusses topics on discipline, becoming a better speaker, a better writer, and much more. Join the tribe by hitting the link in the description box, the pinned comment, or go on ArmaniTalks.com and sign up today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I will catch you on the next episode.